কুইন মেরি ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ লন্ডনের আর্থ ওয়ান স্টুডিওতে গত 16 অক্টোবর 2024 সৌদ ইন্টারন্যাশনাল লিটারেচার ফেস্টিভ্যাল অনুষ্ঠিত হয়েছে। কবি টি.এম. আহমেদ কায়সারের পরিচালনায় অনুষ্ঠানে মূলত মিল্টন ও মধুসূদনের সাহিত্যকর্মের আলোচনায় অংশ নেন ব্রিটেনের অন্যতম প্রধান কবি ফিওনা সামসন, প্রফেসর পিটার বরিসন, ডক্টর এপ্রিল পাওয়ার ও জন পার্ডন। শুনুন তাদের বক্তব্য।
Next year in March. So those who are around East London, this is an unmissable session for you. This is
here. Now, for centuries, John Milton was one of the titans of English literature, and he was a towering poet of such stature that poets like Blake, Wordsworth and Hardy considered him a colossus, a greater poet maybe even than Shakespeare. What Homer had done for the ancient classical world and its gods and myths in the Iliad and the Odyssey, Milton seemed to have done for the Christian world, creating epics that not just defined a culture but glorified it. It was not simply the massive length of his poem, epic poem of Paradise Lost, that made the comparison inevitable. Make our imagination bigger, and that is quite an extraordinary thing. So yes, I'm going to start looking at Milton again myself, and I hope you will too. Thank you very much.
Fact, day labour, light denied, I fondly ask. But patience to prevent that murmur soon replied, God doth not need either man's work or his own gifts. Who best bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. His state is kingly. Thousands at his bidding speed, and post o'er land and ocean without rest. They also serve who only stand and wait. So I'll also project a bit and hope that will work. I've got to change my plans very slightly, I think, because the previous speaker read the first poem that I was going to read. I mean, it's a very,
I
very...
wouldn't mind hearing it twice or three times.
Would you like to hear it again?
Yes.
There are many themes connecting the poetic fates of the two great writers we encounter this afternoon. When I was preparing for this conversation, I discovered a particularly fascinating motif: blindness. In 1638, John Milton met the scientist Galileo Galilei in Florence before penning Paradise Lost. At the time of this meeting, Galileo was 72 and was under house arrest for his belief in a heliocentric universe. This was the year Galileo, whose entire livelihood relied on visual sense perception, went completely blind. A combination of cataracts and glaucoma. Imagine what a conversation took place between the poet Milton and the blind astronomer. Milton pays tribute to his meeting with Galileo in Book 5 of Paradise Lost. Significantly, Galileo is the only contemporary of Milton's to make several appearances in his work at our manufactured portal. Gravity fails in this burning, metaphysical abyss. Mouth to mouth we gasp for speech. Synapses electric. Which word? What switch? Harmony comes to us only in the dark like a smile, or sudden, illuminated blindness. Thank you.
And it's set in Slovenia, which is a further translation. Finally, I came to the end of the world, to a limestone cliff falling in pale steps, and far below a pool somehow out of myth, proving that there was nothing but the rock to hold me up, to raise me into that clear air where crows were looping, where the eye of God was gold and inattentive. Then I saw the end is air and falling. It is clean and lovely. It is blue. And the reason I'm thinking about Dante is because, of course, obviously, Dante's Divine Comedy is the other, if one can say that, great. Instruct me, for thou knowest, thou from the first was present, and with mighty wings outspread red, dove-like sat brooding on the vast abyss and madest it pregnant. What in me is dark illumine, and what is low raise and support, that to the height of this great argument I may assert eternal providence. Evil black image and icon, black because she's silver, but silver that's tarnished, and she sits in this white, shiny stone shrine, Lady of the Sea. Blue and black, the Virgin sits in her high palanquin,